This is what addiction approval looks like. So we're gonna jump right into it. The first lie that you're told is that you need to be liked by everyone, or that you need to go along with how people want you to be. Now, you're probably thinking, of course, I've heard this a million times. These days, everybody says, just do your thing, the people's opinion doesn't matter, haters gonna hate, people gonna judge. But that's not what I'm talking about here. You see, you're still hardwired to people please. You might not even realize this is happening. Do you also find yourself doing things that you don't necessarily want to do, but you end up doing it anyway because it's the normal thing to do? Maybe it's the right thing to do. Who decides what's right or wrong? Whenever you decide to put your foot down and do something that's right for you, you get pushback. You get told things like, you're selfish. Think about others. You can't always have it your way. That's not you. Don't do that. I'm here to tell you that yes, you can have it your way. Who's gonna stop you? And the thing is, you don't even need to tell them that. How do you decide what's right from wrong? Obviously, you're probably not 5 or 10 years old watching this. You're probably at the age where you can make decisions for yourself. Whether they are informed decisions or stupid decisions, they're still your decisions. If you go through a thinking process and think, what I'm doing right now is the right thing to do, then you are right. That's the right thing for you to do. And when you go along with it, and someone tries to make you feel guilty for doing what's best for you, ignore it completely. It doesn't matter. When you start to put your foot down and make way for yourself to emerge, people around you are going to feel uncomfortable. Their discomfort is shown through the things they tell you. That it's not okay to be this way. There's something wrong with you. You're so self-centered. The world doesn't revolve around you. All of those comments don't carry any weight. Those comments are there to get a reaction out of you. You cannot be giving in to their games. It's easy to ignore the comments of strangers who don't even know you. This person doesn't know anything about me, so of course I'm not going to take them serious. But where it's most dangerous are the closest people to you, where you value their opinions, and they start saying these things to you. That's where it matters the most. All those comments people tell you are mere projections of their own insecurities, of what they believe they could never be. If someone tells you that you ain't shit, that's their own belief. You don't need to answer with an explanation. Those questions don't require answers. Those questions require silence from you. It's just people's limiting beliefs. The bottom line is, if you think what you are doing is correct, is right for you, do it. I'm not saying be stupid and make stupid decisions. I'm saying if you've thought about something, calculated, decided to take a risk, and it's right for you, you don't owe anybody an explanation. If you're kind enough to share your reasoning to the person who's going to listen, fine. But you don't owe anybody an explanation. You owe it to yourself to carry through what you said you're going to do to yourself. This is between you and yourself. This is not between anyone else. This is how you build things. Because you've all heard of the cycle that happens. You start doing something, everybody hates on it. Then they start thinking, this person's doing something right. And then they start using you as an example. Well, this person did it. You should be more like that guy. People are just transforming around you. Now, another thing about being liked is very, very important. If you carry around a persona that's likable, but it's not your true self, what ends up happening is you attract the people that like that version of you. That's what you bring in. Whatever you put out to the world is what you attract back. So when you find yourself in a group of friends and shit hits the fan and you realize everyone's fake, that's because you're fake. And it may be hard to hear that, but that's because you started off from a fake persona to be liked by others, which makes sense if you think that's how you want to make friends or attract people into your life. But that's not how you build a real brotherhood. That's not how you build real relationships. Everyone in society is to a degree filtered. But how much do you filter yourself? Why is it that the most authentic people that have the balls to say what they actually think, viewed negatively by society, they end up getting the most respect? That they end up polarizing the people. Either some hate them or some love them. Because people value authenticity. People value someone who's real. A person who's real doesn't need to proclaim that. They just are. And so the bottom line is, if you be yourself, your authentic, raw version, you're going to bring in people who are more like you. You're going to attract people like yourself into your circle. Let's move on to line number 2. You need motivation. Now, these days, a lot of people talk about being disciplined over motivation. Of course, but it's not what I'm going to bore you with. Naturally, in order to start something, you need to have a level of motivation. But a lot of people seem to think that it has to be ongoing. Of course, you put discipline in place and you start getting things done. But what happens in that moment when you know what you're supposed to do and what you want to do, but you just don't feel like it? We all have this part in our heads that talk to us and persuade us away from doing the difficult thing and instead bring us to the path of least resistance. So how do you beat that voice? When you're waking up, why do some people snooze their alarms? The difference between the people who snooze their alarms and the people who get up right away is that they're able to move fast. If you hear your alarm going off and you lay there, your brain convinces you, just stay here 5 more minutes and snooze until the next alarm. The difference is you can't let your brain reason you out of doing something and into something easier. When you hear an alarm, you get up before your brain starts thinking. You just get up. How many of you, when you go to school, while you're at school and they're giving you homework and things to study, you're thinking, of course, I'm going to come home. I'm going to get all these things done. Everything's going to be perfect. My assignment from yesterday is going to be complete. And the next day, I'm going to hand everything in. And on your way there, on your way home, you're thinking, that's right, I'm going to come in and start my homework. And what happens? You come home, you sit down for a bit. Well, obviously, you need to sit down because you're tired. Some people fall into a nap. You decide that you should eat because you haven't eaten in a few hours. Makes sense. And after you eat, you're going to do your homework. But while you eat, you're going to also watch a show. But now, because you haven't fully finished your plate and the show episode is over, you buy yourself another episode. So now you've watched 2 episodes of your show, you finished eating, and it just so happens the show is on a cliffhanger. So you continue. You continue a couple more episodes. That's okay, I still got a couple hours before bed. That's fine, I'll still get it done. And that turns to, it looks like I'm just going to do it tomorrow. I still have time this week. How do you stop that? How do you prevent that? It's not motivation. At this point, it's not even discipline. What if you just don't have the discipline to get it done anyway? You don't let your brain reason you out of it. That means as soon as you walk through the door at home, you walk straight into wherever you do your homework and you start doing your homework. You don't even think about it. You dash straight there, sit down, open your books. You don't even know what you're working on. You haven't decided, but you open your books and you have a pen or a pencil in hand. Or you've opened the document you're working on and you start typing away. And then suddenly, Your brain gives you the tools necessary to complete the assignment. And you start working on it. And then you realize, actually, this is not even that hard. The assignment is actually pretty easy. It's just about starting. Congratulations. You've just won over your brain taking control. You've just defeated your own brain telling you, let's just do something easier right now. We deserve it. We deserve a break. Line number 3 that you hear. You need a tribe. You need a group of people to belong to. You need like-minded individuals to succeed. So, see, this is where everybody gets it backwards. Of course, on the surface, it sounds great. If you're in a group of 5 millionaires, you're going to be the 6th. If you're in a group of 5 people who go to the gym, you'll be the 6th. What makes you want to think they want you in their group? What do you offer? Are you there to just take and you give no value in return? How do you imagine yourself getting into a group of people who are the people you want to be like? How is that going to happen? So if you have a possibility and you're very good at identifying the people you're surrounded with and you want to spend more time with them because they're making you better, great. But the people you're going to be around are only going to be a small bit better than you are. No reasonably successful person is going to want to spend time with someone who adds no value. So what you first need to realize is you want to become the person who at least has the right mindset and embodies the traits of the people they want to be like. So that when the opportunity comes up, they can at least talk to them without seeming like a lowlife. So if you meet me on the street, why should I let you in my circle of 5? Do you think I am interested in sitting down, having a conversation, teaching you about how to get consistent at the gym, teaching you about anything that I already know, knowing that you're probably not going to follow any advice? You're probably going to say, yes, that sounds great, I'm going to start doing it, and 3 days later you're back to where you were. And I know that. Imagine how useless that feels. That I'm spending my time telling someone to be better when they themselves haven't committed to becoming better. And after that, you're going to talk to me about video games. I don't want to talk about video games. I'm not interested in that. I don't know the latest video game. The other day I was sitting in a sauna. Yes, I have a lot of sauna stories. So be prepared. And a guy walks in, sits down. Second guy walks in, sits down. One of the guys looks over at the other's phone. Oh, did they already release that? Release what? Why is your phone in the sauna? That's just my brain. That's my internal thoughts. And they start talking about some updates of some patch notes. And I'm sitting there thinking, have I really gotten that much out of it? I used to be a gamer. But what they're saying is complete gibberish to me right now. And the best part, guy number 3 walks in, sits across from them, so I'm in between these people. He hears our conversation and joins in and says, yeah, that's been out for a while, bro. Oh shit, you also play? You've also checked out the new game? What's going on here? I could not be less interested. They're talking about something that doesn't matter at all. It doesn't matter. Who cares? The new game is out. I haven't heard. And for the next 15 minutes, they sat there discussing their game that I still have no clue what it's about. And they kept checking the time if their timer is up for sitting in the sauna. And even that was useless. They left before their timer. What was the point in all of that? That's clownship. What is the point of this spectacle? Maybe I'm just out of tune with gaming, but I'm glad I am. I am glad that's not my conversation right now. When I have a conversation in the sauna, we're talking about the latest research of a supplement that people were testing. What are some of the effects on creatine long term? Which supplements are safe to use consistently? What do you do for work? Those are much more interesting topics. Of course, I understand if you're sitting next to a guy who's talking about a video game, you don't care that he works in a fast food place because that's not interesting. But do you know how do you get yourself out of working in a fast food place is by talking about these things. Not video games, but about real life shit. So before you think you're going to be accepted into a tribe of people, of anyone who has remotely what you want to have or be like, ask yourself, what value are you bringing? The bare minimum you can bring is your mindset. Are you at least thinking on the level of these individuals? Even if you're not there yet? Because at that point, it's only a matter of time before you are. Is there anything you know that they don't that they might also find useful? Do you have enough knowledge about the things they talk about to add to the conversation? No one's gonna want a leech in the group. It's not gonna happen. That's how these people became successful in the first place. They didn't waste time talking about insignificant subjects. If you have the opportunity to get into a tribe, into a group, definitely do so. But if it's very easy to get in, ask yourself, are you in the right group? Do you need to build yourself? Do you need to at least establish the right habits before you actually start running into people worth listening to, worth having a conversation with? Because I'm telling you right now, they're thinking the same. They're not looking to speak to someone who they think is not at their level yet. No hard feelings. They don't want to speak to a person who is a younger version of them. That's not interesting. Maybe that might give you a couple advice, couple tips, but they are looking for the next level people too. I want to network with the people who are better than I am. I'm not going to spend my time looking for a downline. So, to quickly recap, number 1, stop seeking validation. Number 2, you just need motivation or discipline. And number 3, that you just need to find a tribe. Catch you guys in the next one.